bro. One thing I don't do, I'm the type of person, I'm a team player. So if God was in a situation and I feel like somebody feels trying to take his life, you damn right I'm gonna ride.
Verdict in the Hernandez-Govan trial. In case you missed it, that verdict came out roughly around 10:45 this morning, and it was not guilty on both counts. Hernandez-Govan was accused of being the mastermind in the death of rapper Young Dolph. He is now a free man, free to go after 2 not guilty verdicts.
H.I. Freens. Looks like the fire finally exploded inside CMG's own house, and this time it's serious. The tension between Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti got fans shook. Nobody saw this coming. These two were supposed to be brothers for life, ride or die since day one. Blac Youngsta stood on business for Gotti during that whole Young Dolph situation, going extra hard when the streets were hot. That kind of loyalty used to mean everything, but right now, it's looking real shaky. Blac Youngsta once went as far—
Hey man, I'ma keep this G, bro. Dolph, you a soft-ass nigga, you nice-ass nigga. If you got a problem, you got a problem. Say nigga, ain't no more king of Memphis, ain't king of South Memphis.
—as disrespecting Dolph after his passing, showing how deep his loyalty ran. But fast forward to now, and the tables turned. Word on the net is that Youngsta's officially out of CMG and people can't stop talking. The rumors are flying fast. Some say betrayal, others say money issues, but a few believe it's way darker than that. A few days ago, fans noticed Blac Youngsta wiped CMG clean from his bio and claimed he was now independent. At first, people laughed it off since he pulled this same stunt last year right before Gotti's birthday, then popped up at the party like nothing happened. But this time—
Where you at, Dolph? See the level, bro? You see me? Dolph, cuz.
Where you at, Dolph?
Where you at? Where you at? We in Cascadia right now. We just left the store. Where you at right now, Dolph?
it's different. The vibe feels cold, and the silence from Gotti's side says a lot. The chaos really started when Youngsta dropped a wild post online that had everyone double-taking. He wrote, "Play with me. I'ma take away everything that came out your mama. I swear to God, all my brothers dead, so why not the house? Gonna send this ish upside down about me. Dead or alive, I stand on my own 10. God bless everyone." That post alone had people guessing, but then he doubled down with another one, and this one hit closer to home. He said, "These dudes see B4 and still misleading the youth like they mob bosses. Bro, I'm going to bed. It's 11 a.m. I'm sick of these dudes. I'ma lead by example. I blame the fake OGs, fake CEOs, fake big brothers. I was once like you."
Hernandez-Govan trial. In case you missed it, that verdict came out roughly around 10:45 this morning, and it was not guilty on both counts. Hernandez-Govan was accused of being the mastermind in the death of rapper Young Dolph. He is now a free man, free to go after 2 not guilty verdicts.
But God put me here to help you go through it. Fans instantly caught the shade. That sounded like it was aimed straight at Yo Gotti. After all, Gotti built CMG on that mob boss image, even comparing himself to the real John Gotti in interviews and songs. But Youngsta seems fed up with that fake mob energy, and it sounds like he's ready to expose what's really happening behind CMG doors. Then came another cryptic message that turned the internet upside down. Youngsta said, "Don't ask me about no dude you don't see me with. I don't allow nobody I don't respect around me." That line hit like a gunshot, because that was the same day he scrubbed all traces of CMG from his profile. Right after that, he followed with one more. 90% of the people you see me with is just business. Most of my real ones are dead and gone.
I say thank you to my attorneys, Manny, Robert, Haley, Beth, Handel, my private investigators, and Manny still helped me, you know, and he knew I was innocent. Everybody around me knew I was innocent.
I don't make new friends. That one sealed it. Fans started blowing up his DMs demanding answers. Everyone's trying to figure out what went so wrong between two guys who once stood shoulder to shoulder. Now the streets are buzzing. Did money, fame, or betrayal cause the fallout? Or is it deeper than that? Something personal. Something only insiders know. Whatever it is, this feud between Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti just turned the whole CMG world upside down. That last 1% he said he keeps close, that's loyalty till death. Then came the fire. Blac Youngsta went off again saying, I'm done with fake love and fake loyalty. I've trusted the wrong people too many times. I'm cool standing alone. I live what I rap, no cap. God can take my soul if I'm lying.
G, bro. Dolph, you a soft ass nigga. You nice ass nigga. If you got a problem, you got a problem. Shut ass nigga. Ain't no more king of Memphis. You ain't king of South Memphis. You ain't from the city.
That raw energy hit the internet like a bomb, and fans instantly knew this wasn't just about music anymore. Something deep was broken inside the CMG camp. He made it clear that he cut off a lot of people he once called brothers, the ones who turned out to be yes men, snakes, and fake friends. Folks who acted solid but were secretly trying to level up on his name. Now the whole city's whispering, trying to figure out the truth behind the fallout. Why did Blac Youngsta finally walk away from Young Gotti and CMG? One of the biggest theories points straight back to the Young Dolph case, the tragedy that's haunted Memphis for years. The man prosecutors called the mastermind behind Dolph's murder, Hernandez Govan, was just found not guilty on August 21st, 2025. That verdict flipped the entire situation upside down.
Where you at, dog?
See the last thing? You see me? Dolph, cuz.
Where you at, dog?
Where you at? Where you at? We in Castaigne right now. We just left the store. Where you at right now, dog?
And fans believe it might have been the final push that made Youngsta walk away from CMG for good. See, prosecutors had claimed that Govan was the middleman, the one who allegedly linked Big Jook, Yo Gotti's own brother, to a $100,000 hit on Young Dolph, plus even more alleged bounties on Paper Route Empire members. It was a serious accusation that had everyone in the industry looking sideways at CMG. But then came a major twist. Big Jook was killed in January 2024. His death didn't just shake the streets, it shattered the prosecution's whole case. Without him, the chain between Gotti, Govan, and the alleged hit fell apart, leaving prosecutors with nothing solid to stand on. And just like that, Govan walked free, turning the entire case on its head. After that verdict dropped, fans started connecting the dots. They believe Govan's acquittal freed up more than just a man, it freed the truth.
Had a hit on Dolph's head or whatnot, so
How do you know that Big Jook had a hit on Dolph's head?
Uncle Quick had told me that
How much money was it supposed to be?
100,000 on Dolph's head.
And had you agreed to do this hit?
Yes, sir.
Had Justin agreed to do this hit?
Yes, sir.
With that heavy legal pressure finally gone, Blac Youngsta might have felt like he could finally move how he really wanted to. No more pretending, no more acting loyal to something that didn't sit right with him anymore. Now the question haunting everyone's mind is dangerous. Who really ordered the hit on Young Dolph? The internet's exploding with theories, and the streets are louder than ever. Some fans say Youngsta's distancing himself before the truth comes out, while others claim he's just tired of carrying that weight for people who wouldn't do the same for him. Another wild angle fans are pushing. They think the split could have started because of Blac Youngsta's non-stop disses toward Dolph, even after his death. Rumor is, Yo Gotti wasn't happy about it one bit, especially since folks close to him were already being tied to the case. Every time Youngsta mocked Dolph, the CMG name got dragged right back into that dark spotlight. So maybe this wasn't about betrayal. Maybe it was about self-preservation. Because in Memphis, when street politics and music mix, loyalty can turn deadly fast. And right now, it feels like Blac Youngsta just stepped away before the storm hit again. It's looking real bad for Yo Gotti and the whole CMG label right now. The streets ain't quiet, people are replaying everything.
I'm standing up there, I seen him pull off right here.
Yeah, pull off right here.
Bro, a truck came from right here, pulled up, slammed on brake. It moving, bro.
Tracing it all the way back to the start of that ugly Dolph versus Gotti beef. And if you rewind the tape, you'll see it clear. While Gotti kept things subtle, Blac Youngsta went full-blown savage. He wasn't holding back at all. He said straight up, "Do you a bitch? You soft. You nice. If you got a problem, you got a problem, nigga. Ain't no king of Memphis. You ain't king of nothing. You ain't from South Memphis." That kind of talk made major headlines, and it was wild back then. But now it's coming back to haunt him big time. When Dolph saw that clip, he didn't even blink. Just dropped a laughing emoji and a thumbs down like, "Boy, please." He was cool and unbothered, while the internet lost its mind. But Blac Youngsta wasn't laughing. He really meant what he said. He actually pulled up to Dolph's own neighborhood, riding through Castalia, fully strapped and surrounded by his crew,
One thing that I know for sure, and I've been knowing it for a long time, you kill your haters with success.
Moving heavy like he was on a mission. It was bold, reckless, and dangerous. And the streets still talk about that day like it was straight out of a war movie. When that video went viral, Dolph fired right back on Instagram, calling out both Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti. He said they were moving like cops, trying to bait him into a setup instead of handling it face-to-face in the streets. But that didn't slow Youngsta down for a second. He just doubled down on his disrespect. He dropped 2 diss tracks, Shake Some and I'm Assuming, both loaded with shots aimed directly at Young Dolph. And the timing couldn't have been colder.
Detectives say 3 men approached him right in front of Lowell's Hollywood Hotel today, where all 4 were guests. There was a fight, Young Dolph fell to the ground, and that's when one of the 3 suspects opened fire.
Because right after Dolph was killed, Youngsta hit the stage in Dallas performing Shake Some like nothing happened. Fans went crazy online, calling it the most disrespectful thing they'd ever seen. Instead of apologizing or cooling off, he went even further. He filmed a music video for I'm Assuming in an actual graveyard, standing right in front of a tombstone marked Thornton, Dolph's real last name. That moment broke the internet. People were in shock that he'd take it that far so soon after Dolph's death. The backlash was instant and brutal. Even some CMG supporters said it crossed every possible line.
Like you had happen to you, they have epiphanies. They have like life-changing moments. Just want to ask, has your worldview changed at all after what's happened to you?
Not really.
But Blac Youngsta didn't care one bit. He jumped back on Instagram saying, I'm from South Memphis where you don't get sympathy. I don't care what the world thinks about me. That cold response hit hard. It made the streets look at him different. A lot of fans called it heartless, especially since Dolph wasn't just another rapper. He was a Memphis legend, loved across the whole South and beyond. But in Youngsta's mind, he was just being real, standing on what he believed in. Still, that energy burned bridges everywhere, and it might be what's fueling the fallout between him and Gotti today. Now, with all this tension, people are starting to wonder, could things between Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti really turn violent? Some fans say it's not impossible.
You know what I mean? I help a lot of rappers from Memphis. You trying to get a verse or something from me, you know? I don't know if I, probably didn't do that. I never done that.
Because let's be honest, even Youngsta himself admitted in old interviews that he and Gotti clashed all the time. Gotti told him he moved too wild, too reckless, while Gotti preferred to play chess, not dice. And looking at how things are going now, maybe Gotti was right. Youngsta's got that reckless fire, and Gotti's got that street power and business brain. But when 2 strong forces stop seeing eye to eye, the streets know something's bound to blow. If they don't fix it, this could easily turn from tension to tragedy. And that's not all. There are whispers getting louder about what might come next. Some are even saying Blac Youngsta might start talking, like for real talking. You know what that means in the streets. Once the common enemy is gone, the crew usually starts turning on itself. And in this story, that enemy was Young Dolph.
You got your team, you got this, you got that. You're like, bro, I'm telling you, we can do this, we can do that. I ain't gotta hold your hand like Starlito. I ain't gotta babysit you like them. It's my first time meeting you. You gonna really sit and downplay your artists and throw your artists up on the bus to try to persuade me in to come over there? No, it's just, I can't respect that.
But now with Dolph gone, it's like that same curse is circling back around, tearing through CMG piece by piece. We already saw the tension spilling into the courtroom, and the way it's unfolding. It feels like the calm before a deadly storm. Memphis is watching closely, because this could be the moment that changes everything. Things got real ugly in court when Cornelius Smith, one of the alleged shooters, flipped on everybody. He told prosecutors straight up that it was him and Justin Johnson in that infamous footage, and then he dropped the bomb. He claimed Big Jook, Yo Gotti's own brother, was the one who put a $100,000 bounty on Young Dolph's head. That statement shook the entire courtroom and sent shockwaves through Memphis.
Yeah. Shout out to my nigga Young Dolph in this morning.
That's where Hernandez Govan entered the picture. According to Smith's testimony, Govan was the real shot caller, the middleman between the streets and CMG, the one who allegedly moved in silence while connecting all the dots behind the scenes. It sounded like a movie plot, but the drama was all too real. But when it came time to face the defense, they tore Cornelius Smith apart. They called him a pathological liar, saying he was trying to save himself by pointing fingers in every direction. And it worked. That line of attack helped Govan walk free, completely flipping the case upside down. Fans couldn't believe it. 1 minute Govan was the supposed mastermind, and the next, he was walking out the courthouse doors like nothing ever happened. Then came another twist. Justin Johnson's half-brother, Jamarcus Johnson, ended up in the mix too. In June 2023, he pled guilty to 3 counts of accessory after the fact, admitting that he helped his brother hide out after the murder went down. His lawyer tried to clean it up, saying Jamarcus wasn't involved in the hit itself, just helped afterward. But come on, that's textbook snitching to cut time off a sentence, and it only proved one thing: loyalty was falling apart fast. With Govan acquitted, the entire case started to crumble. The state's theory on who ordered the hit collapsed completely, leaving a hole big enough to drive a tour bus through. Now, even people who once called each other brother are starting to side-eye one another. The tension's thick and fans are furious, saying Govan's release makes no sense when so many in Memphis still believe he played a huge role behind the scenes. And for those who forgot, this wasn't the first time someone tried to kill Young Dolph. Way back in 2017, during CIA weekend in Charlotte, Dolph's SUV got lit up with over 100 bullets in broad daylight, right near the arena, surrounded by crowds and cameras. It looked like a war zone, with shell casings scattered all over the street and cars riddled with holes. The wild part? Dolph already had his SUV bulletproofed before the attack even went down, like he knew something was coming, like he could feel the setup brewing. The rumor around the city was that the threat came from Yo Gotti's circle, and everyone knew exactly who that pointed to. After the shooting, police picked up 3 men, Blac Youngsta, Frederick Black, and Avius Gardner. They got hit with serious charges, from firing into occupied property to conspiracy. The news lit up the headlines everywhere, and people were whispering about whether Youngsta had finally gone too far. But when reporters asked Dolph about it, he didn't flinch. No fear, no hesitation, just pure confidence. He said he wasn't worried because he knew his purpose was bigger. He even threw a message right back at his haters saying, "One thing I know for sure, and I've been knowing it for a long time, you kill your haters with success." And that's exactly what he did. Right after the shooting, Dolph hit the stage performing his Yo Gotti diss track, "Play With Yo B." Bold as ever, smiling like nothing could touch him. Then he doubled down, dropping 3 tracks inspired by the attack, 100 Shots, In Charlotte, and Bulletproof. Each one was a lyrical missile, aimed right at his enemies. Eventually, all charges against Blac Youngsta were dropped. The court papers showed the only connection he had to the shooting was a rental car in his name, but there was no proof he was driving it, or even in it, when those bullets started flying. Still, that didn't erase the cloud hanging over him. The tension never left. The drama just kept building, and every move from that day forward felt heavier, like the streets were waiting for payback, and the story was far from over. Just months after surviving the Charlotte shooting, Young Dolph faced another attempt on his life, this time all the way out in Hollywood. It went down outside the Lowe's Hotel, right in the valet area, in front of cameras, staff, everybody. Reports say a fight broke out. Dolph got knocked to the ground, and then multiple shots rang out. He was hit bad, rushed to surgery, and somehow, he survived again. The man was walking proof that someone out there was trying hard to take him out. After that shooting, the LAPD didn't waste time. They officially named Yo Gotti as a person of interest. That headline alone sent the industry into chaos. Witnesses claimed they saw one of Gotti's known associates, Corey McClendon, near the scene, and police arrested him shortly after. To make things even crazier, cops reportedly found a gold Escalade linked to the suspects parked not far from the hotel. It was like a movie playing out in real life. But just like before, the case fell apart. Charges didn't stick. McClendon walked free, and Gotti's name got cleared again. But the damage was already done. Fans couldn't ignore the pattern anymore. Every time something happened to Dolph, Gotti's name came up in whispers. It was like the streets were trying to tell a story that no one wanted to say out loud. And even after being that close to death, again, Young Dolph never folded. He didn't run, didn't hide, didn't beef online. Just days later, people saw him walking around solo, calm as ever, like he had no enemies at all. That's the kind of energy that made people respect him even more. Fearless, focused, and always about his business. He wasn't chasing revenge. He was chasing wealth and legacy. All he cared about was stacking his paper, building paper route empire, and showing the world what independence really looked like. He was on top of his game, but the streets had other plans. Then came the most heartbreaking chapter of them all, the one Memphis still hasn't healed from, the murder of Young Dolph. It happened in broad daylight, right in his hometown, the city he loved more than anything. Dolph pulled up to Makita's Homemade Cookies, a local black-owned business he'd supported for years. He was there to grab treats for his mom. That's when two gunmen ambushed him outside the shop, opening fire before jumping into a getaway car. The attack was caught on surveillance cameras. And just like that, Memphis lost one of its most respected voices. The city fell into chaos, fans crying in the streets, news helicopters flying overhead, and tributes popping up across every block. A massive manhunt went down, and eventually, police arrested 23-year-old Justin Johnson, straight drop, and 32-year-old Cornelius Smith. Both were charged with Dolph's murder, and the case sent chills through the entire hip-hop world. But even in death, the conversation circled right back to Yo Gotti, because everyone knew there was history. You can't talk about Dolph's murder without talking about the long-standing tension between him and Gotti. Yet, Gotti himself has always denied any real beef. He's gone on record multiple times saying he had nothing but respect for Dolph. He even pulled up an old 2012 text message where he congratulated Dolph on his success, saying he wanted to see him win. According to Gotti, the only real friction ever came from Dolph turning down a feature. That's it. Gotti's told interviewers he never had hate in his heart, that the beef was exaggerated by the streets and the blogs. But when it comes to Memphis, everybody knows. Words mean nothing when history runs that deep. Because Dolph's side of the story, totally different, he told it straight. Back around 2012, when his name was starting to ring bells in Memphis and beyond, Yo Gotti reached out with an offer, join CMG. Back then, Gotti was already a major player in the South, so for most up-and-coming artists, that offer would have been a dream come true. But Dolph turned it down. He said it wasn't about ego, it was about independence. That's when things got tense. Dolph later said Gotti's pitch rubbed him the wrong way from the start. According to him, Gotti tried to sell the deal by down-talking his own artists, saying they weren't that good, that they needed constant help, and that Dolph was built different. Reportedly, Gotti even told him something like, "You don't need all that. You could just be with me." But Dolph didn't like how it sounded. Too slick, too controlling. He wanted to be his own boss, not somebody's soldier. And that's when the silent war began. The kind of war that wasn't fought in the studio, but in the shadows, in the streets, and through years of tension that would eventually spill into tragedy. And the scariest part? That decision to stay independent might have been the choice that sealed his fate. Because from that day on, the streets were divided between Team Gotti and Team Dolph, and Memphis would never be the same again. When Yo Gotti told Young Dolph, "You can be a superstar with me," it sounded smooth, but to Dolph, it hit wrong. It felt like Gotti was throwing his own team under the bus just to reel him in. That slick industry talk didn't sit right. It came off fake, political, and full of ego. Dolph saw through it instantly. From that moment, he decided, no deal, no CMG, no Gotti. He was gonna do it all on his own terms, period. And honestly, that decision told you everything about who Dolph was. He wanted to stand on his own name, not ride anyone else's wave. He respected himself too much to fall for what he saw as manipulation. And that's where the real divide began. But the story didn't stop there. It actually got way messier. There was another twist that made the beef personal in a way nobody could ignore. Word on the street was that Young Dolph once claimed he had a thing going on with Yo Gotti's baby mama. And when Gotti found out, that's when the quiet tension blew up into full-blown war. Dolph never gave too many details, but he definitely hinted about it in his music. He even used it as fuel for his now legendary diss track, Play With Yo B, a song that shook the internet when it dropped. The cover art showed a phone screen full of missed calls, supposedly from Gotti's baby mama, blowing up Dolph's line. Fans couldn't believe the boldness. Dolph wasn't just talking slick, he was sending a message. To really get how deep this ran, you gotta rewind back to the start. Around 2010, Yo Gotti was finally breaking into the mainstream. His hit 5 Star with Gucci Mane, Trina, and Nicki Minaj was climbing the charts. Memphis had a certified star. Meanwhile, Young Dolph was still grinding in the underground scene, coming fresh off his second mixtape, Welcome to Dolph World. He was making noise, earning cosigns from Atlanta legends like Gucci Mane, 2 Chainz, and OJ Da Juiceman. By 2012, the game had changed completely. Gotti was an established name, but Dolph was right on his heels, independent and unstoppable. That's when Gotti reached out, inviting Dolph to join him at a community event in Memphis, focused on uplifting the youth. There's even real footage of them sharing the same stage, the one and only time they ever performed side by side. For that brief moment, it looked like unity was possible. Memphis was hyped. Fans thought maybe the two could represent the city together instead of tearing it apart. But behind the scenes, jealousy and pride were already brewing. That show happened in August 2012, the same time Gotti supposedly tried to sign Dolph to CMG. And according to Gotti himself, August 24th, 2012, was the last day they ever spoke. After that, silence. No more calls, no more collaborations, nothing. On the surface, things looked peaceful. But the streets knew better. The energy had shifted. Subliminal shots started flying through lyrics and interviews, turning quiet tension into real hostility. What began as a disagreement turned into one of the most talked about rivalries in Southern hip-hop. And then, the darkness hit. Multiple attempts on Dolph's life followed. The Charlotte shooting, the Hollywood attack, and finally, the tragic murder in Memphis that ended it all. The streets were left stunned. But even after Dolph's death, the curse didn't stop. One by one, people connected to the situation, or even those who mocked it, started falling too. Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook, gone. Blac Youngsta's brother, gone. And the CMG circle that once looked untouchable is now cracking apart from the inside. Now, with Blac Youngsta officially out of CMG, fans are watching closely. The tension's thicker than ever, and the whispers say this story might not be over yet. Could it explode again? Could secrets finally spill? Nobody knows. But one thing's clear. This Memphis saga has turned into something way bigger than music. It's about loyalty, betrayal, and survival in a city where fame can get you killed. The question everybody's asking now, is this deadly story finally ending? Or is it just getting started? Thanks for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next video.